Hello beautiful people, LosingDrea here, and today I'm coming at you with a couple little things. First of all, I did 571.5 calories today on the treadmill, but in addition to doing that many calories on the treadmill, I actually stepped 14,226 steps on my pedometer. 14,226 steps. I have never done that in one day. And I've been doing pretty good throughout the week, actually. But it says I did 6.2 miles and burned off 623 calories with all those steps. So, I was trying to, I actually broke the little clippy thing, and so I'm using one of these that I've attached it to so I can continue to keep it on my waist. I had a lot of weird things going on. I was polishing my fingernails with this tiny little bottle, and it's not the color I'm wearing. I dropped this bottle not once but twice, having to clean up a huge mess. Every bit of polish, this was a brand new bottle, and every bit of polish that was in this bottle ended up all over my wonderful camouflage pants that I love, and the floor, the speaker, the printer, the computer. I think even one of my cats, but she won't. She got so freaked out, I think, from the smell of it, she won't even let me go near her to see. So anyways, I had a quite eventful day. I'm wide awake. It's 12:56 at night. Well, in the morning. It's actually the 15th of January. It's Tuesday. I do work this evening, but I've been off for the last 2 days. So some might be thinking, well, why aren't you going to sleep? I don't know. I'm wide awake. I had an eventful day, some dancing, and just doing all kinds of stuff, and I've just really been happy and just have a lot of energy. So, but yeah, I don't know, you can tell I had my hair done. I didn't have it done, I did it, just, I need to get it cut. But, yeah, I got on the scale this morning, and, at first, if you get on the scale the first time, make sure you get off of it, and then get back on it again, because chances are, the reading that you get is not going to be the correct reading. And I hate to bust any of your bubbles out there, because my bubble was bursted big time, because I got on it right when hubby was looking, and the both of us seen 233, and I was like, whoa, because he said to me, you won't lose no weight, or you'll gain a couple of pounds, because when he was working out, that's what was going on. He goes, and then bam, you'll drop like 5 or 6 pounds in one day. And I was like, yeah, right, how could that be, But anyways, I was 237 after I got off and got back on and kept doing it. I was actually, excuse me, I was 237.4. And prior to that, on the 9th, I was 241.2. So I've actually had a really good loss. On Sunday, I was 238.6. which took me to a 4.4 loss for the week, and for 238.6, and then the following day I was 237.4, so I had another 0.2 loss in one day, and I'm like, wow. Been eating a lot of hard-boiled eggs, which is sustaining my hunger. I'm not finding myself hungry and wanting to snack during the day. I'm not craving sweets. And I've been able to have 2 very low-carb days in a row now because of that. Other than I did do Asian buffet again. It was a night to celebrate something with my husband. So I allowed him to have a little bit, but I didn't go crazy like I normally did. I didn't hit the one buffet for desserts. And so I stayed away from that, and I stayed away from a lot of the fried stuff that I normally would eat, a lot more than I did. I did have one fried crab and green. It's got this sweet cheese stuff in it. I don't know, it's delicious. I only had a couple of those with some duck sauce. I mostly ate sushi with it's like a green seaweed thing. I forget what it's called. It's like a seaweed salad. It's kind of pickled seaweed or something. I eat a little bit of that on each piece of sushi with like a little piece of ginger, and each bite has to have a little bit of each of that. And then I absolutely enjoy it. And so I had quite a bit of sushi. So that was the only rice that I really had. I did grab a little. I'm not really a fried rice eater, but the fried rice that they make at this place is like very clean. It's not like, it doesn't even look fried. It's not like brown. It's almost like yellow rice, but it's not even that yellow. I don't know how to explain it, but there is vegetables in it. So I just put a tiny little bit of that on the plate. And I didn't even finish it all. I went for the vegetables, the broccoli, the chicken, all the healthy stuff. And I don't eat red meat anyways, unless I eat a burger or something somewhere. I mean, I'm not like a vegan vegetarian, but I totally just try to stay away from red meat, only because I don't like the way it makes me feel. So all in all, I really feel like I had a good day. After I input just the first 571 calories prior to, you know, what I did, that was just what I did at the gym, I had another 1,200 and I think 37 calories or something that I could have eaten for the day. But I choose not to, and I'm pretty sure that even with the Asian buffet, I probably didn't have no more than 1,000 calories right there. And then I came home, and the only thing I've eaten since is 2 hard-boiled eggs, which again sustained my hunger. You know, I could have eaten something sweet. Hubby was having Cheerios with almond milk, which is 240 calories with the almond milk. It's 100 calories for each 1 cup of Cheerios, and we eat it with 1 sweet and low artificial sweetener, so therefore there's like, you know, the only carbs that are in it are from the Cheerios, but it's like the least amount, it's the only cereal with the least amount of carbs. I did go grocery shopping after we went to the gym, and my mom had a list of stuff that she wanted me to get, and there was quite a few things that I wanted to get also that were not on her list. Primarily one of the things that I wanted to get that I've been wanting to try is steel cut oats. And it's funny, I bought some steel cut oats, I get home, and I'm pretty sure for some reason or another I had steel cut oats. For whatever reason, I don't know, I didn't eat them, and I look on the date, and the bottom of the date, the sell-by date says February 2011. Like, that's almost 2 years ago. So, and how did I end up with steel cut oats from that if I started my journey October 2011? Anyways, I'm a little dumbfounded about that, but yeah, I now have steel cut oats, and one of these days, if I wake up in time before going to the gym and whatnot, I'll try them. I've been wanting to try them with, I don't know, I think it was maple syrup or honey or something. It just looked really, really delicious, and I'll try to keep it as healthy as I possibly can and try to eat a little bit of that. Somebody else told me he pre-makes a bunch of it up, keeps it in little containers, and then microwaves the whole container and eats that, and it keeps him full for a pretty good portion of the day. This is one of the guys that works the front desk at the gym. So so I got that, and I'm trying to think if I got anything else worthwhile aside from fruits and vegetables and that kind of thing. Salmon steaks and things of that nature. I basically bought that for my mom, but I'm sure there's going to be a night I'm going to make something with that, so be looking for some pictures or whatnot on my Facebook if you're my friend there. If not, go ahead and click the link. If you go to my main page here, I'm pretty sure I have a link to my Facebook page. I'd be more than happy to have you as my friend, so you can see what I'm doing outside of the videos that I do. I don't always get to post a video where I might always get to post what I'm eating for the day or what I cooked. Okay, so my question was, because I did all these steps on my pedometer, and I'm saying to myself, you know, what are the steps about? You know, if you do 10,000 steps a day, you know, what is the big deal? I know that my pedometer has this little guy that does jumping jacks when you hit 10,000 steps. And it's been my belief that 10,000 steps is like the heavily promoted fitness mantra. So, with good reason, what they say is that the American Council on Exercise estimates that the average person can burn up to 3,500 calories per week by walking 10,000 steps every day. I hope I said that right. So that when you burn 3,500 calories, you know, more calories than you consume, you lose 1 pound of body fat. But that eating calorie-rich, low-nutrient foods can pack the calories right back on. So undoing all your hard work, what you don't want to do, you want to focus on eating reduced calorie, nutrient-rich diet to keep your body fueled for more walking and weight loss without replacing all the calories that you just burned off. And now, a lot of this stuff is confusing to me, and I'm sure many of you are watching my channel right now and watching me, and you're confused as well. There are ways that you can look this stuff up online. It might help you understand the situation and what they're trying to tell you to do. There are ways that you can calculate your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. There's calculators for that. And hopefully you have a pedometer like I do, which basically tells you the distance. You know, it'll say how many miles it's gone, not just the steps, and maybe even how many calories you've burned, not just the steps. In my case, I'm lucky and fortunate enough to have an Omron pedometer. It does have that, and it says that the 10,000 steps program is tailored for exercisers using a pedometer. So all you have to do is clip the pedometer to your belt, and it counts every step that you take. And if you have a pedometer that's counting the steps taken during everyday's activities, then it isn't practical, but you can estimate how many steps you take on fitness outings, and according to distance, if you have an average stride, every mile you walk equals about 2,000 steps. So, in the case of me, where I've done 14,226 steps, in essence, I've walked over 7 and almost a quarter mile. 500 steps would be a quarter of a mile. So, 226 is almost half, so it's half of a quarter is like almost an eighth. So, obviously 7.1/8 of a mile or whatever. I am ecstatic about that. Like, how, I mean, my goal is to do a 5K. I don't know that I'll walk it or that I'll run it. One of my other things that I must say that I did on the treadmill yesterday, being that it's after 1 a.m. here now, was I actually tried to run for the first time on the treadmill. And I'm not one, I've never been able to run. Last time I was in a gym on a treadmill was 15 years ago, and I never did more than I think about 40 or 45 minutes on the treadmill. I had worked from a half hour up to about 40 or 45 minutes, maybe, if I remember correctly, maybe not. But when I got back into it this time, I went for that hour, and I've been doing that hour ever since, and I've been picking up the speed as well as the incline. And that's helping me, and why I'm burning more and more calories each day, is that I'm pushing myself beyond limits that I might have said, well, I don't think I can do that. And so, yeah, I tried to run, and I did it for maybe about 30 seconds, a half a minute. And then I slowed it down, and I started to come back to a fast pace. And, you know, I felt proud of myself that I tried, and that I did even just that half minute. It was, to me, it was better than nothing at all. And that's my goal. I want to run. I love watching others run. I've always been like fascinated with runners and athletes who can run. I apparently have a problem with my knees. I found that out still earlier, as a lot of it could be still because I have excess weight on me. But, you know, I dropped this nail polish. It went all over the stupid floor, and the next thing you know, I'm on my knees trying to clean up the mess, which I found quickly I needed to get back into my seat and try to do what I could by my foot and my feet and rubbing it with my foot and my shoe. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying about the pedometers and your steps and burning off calories, basically, you know, the numbers that I give you about the steps, they say that they're estimates, rough estimates, but estimates. And the exact number of calories that you burn depend on a variety of factors, including how much you weigh and how much of that weight is muscle and how fast you walk. So, like, when I get on that treadmill, and I set it for calorie burner. It asks me how much do I weigh, and so when I got on the scale this morning and saw that I was 300, I'm sorry, gosh no, saw that I was 237.6, I just put 237, and then it says how fast you want to go. Now if I think that I can do 3.5 miles within the hour, I put 3.5, and it automatically goes 3, and then there's a decimal point, and then the 5, so it's 3.5, which means 3.5 miles. And then I hit start. Oh, well, I hit 60 minutes. That's how long I want to go for. And I hit start, and it starts to go. And usually, if I don't feel that it's fast enough for me, I can increase my speed. If I'm going up or down a hill and I want to go further up a hill, if it's going down, if I feel like I can do higher hills rather than it go up, and I can control it. And depending on how I move that thing on my own, it will, at the end, give me my workout results. And I feel that that treadmill is more accurate than anything else that I could possibly use, more accurate than my pedometer, although I have checked it against my pedometer. So I believe that my pedometer works as it should. It doesn't, my pedometer knows my weight, my pedometer knows my height. It does that for me. I put that in, and I realized this when I changed the time to the correct time, because for the longest time I had my pedometer when it's daylight savings time and we spring ahead, it was fine. But because we fell back at 11 o'clock is when it was going, because it thought it was 12 o'clock. It thought it was midnight, so it was going into the next day, and I was losing that bit going into the next day. So if I saw 11,438 steps, my mother's in here, I'm on the video, but if I saw all those steps on my pedometer, then I thought, okay, I did all those steps for the day, when in essence, probably about 200 and some odd of those steps from the day before, that one little hour, was actually, you know, came from the day before. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Now, I fixed the issue, and when I did so, I realized that it did not change any of my previously daily numbers. Those numbers stayed in there. It didn't wipe them out like I thought might have ended up happening. And it again made sure that it asked me my weight, my height, and all that. And it was already in there. I didn't have to change anything, but I could if I wanted to. And of course I had to change my weight. My weight was not the same. And now that's correct. And so if my pedometer is basically telling me that yesterday I burned I did 14,226 steps, that's 6.2 miles and 623 calories, and I still got to find out what this G thing is. 41.8 G grams. I don't know if that's fat grams or what. I hope so. I got to look that one up too. But anyways, that's what I've been busy doing, is trying to learn that portion of it, because that's a very big, important portion of the journey, is knowing what you're doing so that you can input it correctly. I have been using my Fitness Pal because I've been having trouble every time I go to Spark People. Spark People was my go-to tracker of choice in the very beginning, and I swear, I'll still swear by it. It's just that now that I have a smartphone capable of keeping up with a lot of these Android apps and whatnot that's out there, I wasn't going to pay. I think it was $16 they wanted for the app for the Spark People, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just they wanted me to join Spark People, because that sounds about the amount that they charge if you want to join them. But you don't have to join them. You can take, you know, just use the trackers and join the groups and whatnot for support. But you know, my biggest support is here with you guys on YouTube, and then secondly in Facebook with a lot of you guys anyhow. And there's a few of you that have either started groups of your own and or just belong to other groups that somebody else in our community has started. And I really love the support and the feeling of family that I get with all of you from being in those groups. Anyways, I'm coming up on 20 minutes, so I'm going to close this now. I was happy to report what I did, and today I hope is going to be a much better day. I do got to work tonight, but I am going to go and get my workout in. I'm going to make sure I do that treadmill and try to get at least 10,000 steps. And be happy, be healthy, be beautiful, but just be you. Be the boss of your own loss if you're on a weight loss journey, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.